Hi guys, it's Rob from Royal Balls. I've got a short video for you today on my biggest female ball python. She is a Savannah or cinnamon Mojave female and she weighs well over 4 kilos. In fact, when I tried to weigh her, she bottomed out my digital scales and I had to take her upstairs to the bathroom and weigh myself and then weigh myself with her, and she weighs 4.2 kilos. She is absolutely massive. We're going to take a look at her, but we're also going to talk about a term that I hear often when people mention big ball pythons, and that's the Volta ball python. So we'll have a quick discussion on the Volta, what it is, and whether your ball python should be called a Volta or not. So just how big can a ball python get? This is my Savannah or cinnamon Mojave female. She is actually building, and I had to use the bathroom scales to weigh this girl. She weighs 4.2 kilos. Let me just pull out a 2-year-old female that weighs 1500 grams for comparison. This female is just coming up to breeding size. This would be the size of female that you would consider as a first-time breeder, and you can see that she is absolutely tiny compared to the big Savannah girl here. Just look at the difference in the size of the heads. Not only does this girl weigh 4.2 kilos, but she has a massive head in proportion to her body. Let me put this girl away, and let me just lift up this girl so that you can see just how big she actually is. My camera won't zoom out any further, but this girl is absolutely massive. 4.2 kilos of ball python. And I often hear, when big ball pythons are mentioned, the term Volta. Everything that is particularly large tends to attract the name Volta, and people mistake Volta for a gene. It's not a gene. Volta is a locality in Ghana in West Africa, near the Volta Lake and Volta River, where ball pythons grow particularly large. It's probably a polymorphic variation, evolution in action. Something favours the larger sizes of ball pythons in the Volta region, but they are just ball pythons, completely compatible with any other ball python. All our ball python morphs can be mixed with the Volta, and if you breed a Volta to a normal ball python, you get a normal ball python. You do not get half the babies being large and half the babies being normal size. It's polymorphic variation. Some of the babies may inherit the larger size, but typically they don't. It is not a gene, it's a type locality, and it's a region, and the term Volta should not be used if you do not know the lineage of your ball python. If you know that your ball python came from the Volta region, you can call it a Volta. If you do not know, it's incorrect to call a large ball python Volta just because it's large. Volta is a region, not a gene, and not a type of ball python. I'll put in the description below a link to some references on the Volta region and Volta ball python written by Outback Reptiles that have imported several of the Volta region ball pythons for your reference. But this girl here is just a large ball python. She is not Volta. I do not know her lineage, I do not know where she originated from, and therefore it would be incorrect to call this ball python a Volta. Here she is, 4.2 kilos of cinnamon Mojave ball python. Just to give you guys an idea of how big this girl really is. Here's the full length, and she is well over 4 feet in length, probably much closer to 5. And this girl lays massive eggs, and not necessarily huge clutches. She's laid 8 eggs twice, and the eggs have been huge, about the size of footballs, 120 grams. But the snakes inside them have been perfectly normal sized babies. There is nothing at all unusual about this snake. It's just big for a ball python. So there we go, guys. This is Cinnamon Mojave. 4.2 kilos worth of building female. Let's put her back. She is actually heavy. Alright guys, there we go. So unless you know that your big ball python is actually from the region or type locality for the Volta ball python, it would be incorrect to call it a Volta. And Volta is not a gene. It is simply a variation of an ordinary ball python which is larger than normal that comes from the Volta region. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.